Well, welcome everyone to this conversation and lecture on clair abilities, and particular clairvoyance is where I kind of lean towards myself, is with clairvoyance. But we have other clair abilities as well, and a lot of times people are not necessarily aware that your spiritual gifts that you can tap into literally have an anatomy within the body. And so a lot of people are at this point who come to these types of lectures know that there is a 7 chakra system within the body. There's many more chakras that are out of the body, but 7 in the body. And with those, certain abilities are connected with those chakras, and they become kind of like our spiritual superpowers. Sometimes what happens though is when we're kind of getting them coming online, it doesn't feel so good. Like has anyone ever like cut off the like on their leg or their finger or whatever, you cut off the circulation for a little bit, and then when you let go and the circulation starts getting back there, it feels like what? Pins and needles, right? Pins and needles, not necessarily the most comfortable, feeling, right? Sometimes when our spiritual gifts come online, it feels like that. It feels like, oh gosh, what is going on? And people will tend to kind of squash them. They'll be like suppressing them rather than leaning into them. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm fearful about it, so let me stop this, right? So they wish to, I need to learn more about it before I open these gifts up. I know, been there, done that. And that's kind of the way I get into all this as well. Now, I will tell you this, that people who've come to my lectures before, it's always entitled the same thing, and no lecture is ever the same. So that's kind of fun, because I'm going to be reading the room and what people here are interested in and need to know. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit about how your spiritual gifts and these clair abilities. So clair means clear, okay, and so clairvoyance is clear seeing with your third eye chakra. Clairsentience is clear feeling with your sacral chakra. Clairaudience is clear hearing with your throat chakra. And claircognizance is that clear knowing with your crown chakra. Now, just like the chakras work together in the body to distribute energy and to support different aspects of our lives, right? Physical, emotional, personal power, confidence, passion, love, divine love, communication, creativity, intuition, right? And navigating the world, right? And then, of course, our connection with the divine, right? I just kind of went up all the chakras there. The clair abilities all will work in tandem too. So I like to make my talks pretty interactive, and so I'm going to invite you to participate as we go along. But you all have a diagram that shows the different chakras, what they kind of are associated with. They all do something to support our life here, body, mind, and spirit. And your clair abilities are doing that too. Some are turned on more than others, and we will talk about that. But let me just go give a quick overview, and as I do, I'm going to ask you to kind of participate and identify which of these do you feel like fits you the best, okay? So I'm going to start with clairsentience, and you see me holding my belly. This is an abdomen, right? This is your second chakra, your sacral chakra below the navel. It's very connected with emotions and feelings, and people will oftentimes think of that as a creative place too, because oftentimes our creativity is sparked by what? A feeling. We're not going to express that feeling till we get up here to the throat chakra. You see how they're working together? We're going to add our love, we're going to add our personal power to whatever it is we're creating till it comes into an expression. I hope that makes sense. Your Clair abilities are going to work that way too. So clairsentience is clear feeling. We literally kind of put little feelers out to connect with other people's aura field. Okay? So I was talking with somebody this morning who said, I can tell right when they walk in the door whether they're having a good day or a bad day. Or I might even know, like, oh shoot, they must have lost someone. Like, you can literally feel, I call it the flavor of their emotions, right? So that is an interesting way to navigate life. Most people identify that as being an empath. And because it helps us relate to people, because we feel what they feel, right? We are temporarily feeling what they are going through, and so we're able then to relate to them. In my my professional career, I'll call it, I am a behavior consultant. So I work with people with autism, developmental disabilities, all kinds of physical situations, and a lot of them nonverbal. And the interesting thing is the people would always be like, well, let's get Laura here. She can probably help navigate things. Because guess who could tell what was going on nonverbally? The empath, right? The one who is really here to like heal lots of things, including myself. But yeah, so that they called me in because I would be able to tune in, right? Not to what's in the paperwork, but to the person, right? That's a great thing if you're doing that, right? But when you walk away and you've done it with 8 people that day, how does it leave you feeling? Drained, exhausted. My thing was, people would ask me a simple question like, what's your favorite color? And I would see like a rainbow and go, I don't know. It depends. And what that is related to is you have different people's energy in your space and they're all chiming in at the same time what their favorite color is. So deciding meals was challenging, right? All those things. So anyway, that's your clairsentience. It is a great way to navigate things if we're able to get the information clearly. The trick for folks who are empaths and who navigate clairsentiently is you've got to release the energy. You are not meant to carry other people's energy. You've got to learn some grounding techniques so that you can rid yourself of it, okay? Because guess what? You cannot solve someone else's grief. You cannot solve someone else's job misery. You can't do that. Relationship issues, you can't do that. And so anyway, it's nice of you to help lighten the load when you're there, but you know, other steps to go to navigate that. So anyway, how many people, that sounds like you've had days like you've been around the people and you're done picking up other people's energy, and why do you get that radar hit? Yeah, probably, yep.
Certain people.
Okay, so for you it's certain people, okay? So that's probably 3/4 of the room. And I have people that can't go certain places because of the energy. They just won't even go because there's too much, right? And skip events and really maybe want to go to so-and-so's graduation celebration, but by the time it comes they don't go, right? So so anyway, that's your clairsentience. It is a way to get the information and to navigate the world. So push pause on that for a minute. We're going to talk about clairaudience. Yeah.
But is that also when you get like information from the universe, like you're able to receive information maybe through your body or through some means or just a knowing? Is that also that area? Clair? Or is that a different Clair?
It's a different Clair.
Oh, okay.
It's a different Clair, and we're going to get there.
Okay,
How about
sorry.
that? Okay,
I was
no.
So that's why I'm here to learn.
No. Well, a lot of times, people think listen to your gut, right? That's what they'll say is listen to your gut, right? Your gut instincts, right? People talk about gut instincts all the time. That is a very strong one. And the reason why, this is magnificent if you think about it. The reason why it's so magnificent is because you can't ignore it, can you? It just became physical. That emotion just said, or, right? It's either pulling you or pushing you away. It's telling you, oh, run from this person, right? It's telling, or you might meet that person and you would be like, here comes lunch, right? That kind of may be going on with you.
So is it always a person, or could it be a place? Could it be other
Could
things?
be places. So other things have energy. Everything has energy and vibration. How many people, when they pulled onto the driveway of the Unity Church, felt things shift and be like, oh, today's going to be a great day? If you felt that, don't be shy, raise your hand. Claim this stuff. There you go. A half of the room says, yes, I could feel that. You were picking up on the energy and the vibration being stored here. Because if I beat this table enough, it's going to show the wear of the table, right? Because the vibration will be influential on it, okay? It's going to influence it. Same thing with anything else. These books on the shelves, like all things, right? Houses. I cleared a business one time and I was like, oh, y'all. And it was all mostly one wall. And I found out what was on the other side of that. A lot of cold cases, unsolved murders from way back when, like back Civil War times. So it was a historical record place and whatever. And I'm like, no wonder you got issues over here. But anyway, so places can hold that energy as well. So, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, it can be, like some people have telemetry, which is, picking up that hat and I can tell you where you've been with that hat on your head.
Could it be the energy of a whole country as well?
Yes.
That you pick up on?
Yes.
Okay.
It depends.
I feel that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can. All right. So, yeah. Learning to manage that is not going to be covered today where we're talking about all your clair abilities. Okay, I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that. But yeah, like being drawn to things or again repelled, like any situations and things that you might see or witness or whatever can be problematic too with that clairsentience piece, right? Okay, so problematic if it's impinging on your ability to navigate life. Okay. So the next one I want to get into is clairaudience. Clairaudience is your clear hearing. Now, a lot of times people think, well, I get these ideas, but it sounds like my own voice. So it's not clairaudience, it's my monkey mind. It's just something I thought of. Okay. Your monkey mind is probably the biggest liar that there is out there, and it's going to stop you from doing a lot of things you should be doing. Certainly that you want to be doing. It's the one holding you back. But the interesting thing, and it's very ego driven, right? Ego keeping you safe. Okay. It's very ego driven in that I did that versus I received this inspiration and now, right, I'm going to whatever, react on that, respond to that, whatever. Clairaudience, like I have on occasion, mine is turned on, I have on occasion had like a specific voice come through that's not my voice. If that had happened before I knew it was my clairaudience and what was going on, it would have freaked me out. Okay, would freak you all out too, which is why clairaudience doesn't come through that way. Most of the time it sounds like your own voice. The way to tell a difference is that it will be a voice of neutrality, not a voice of judgment. That's the way to tell the difference. Judgment is ego, that's your monkey mind. I had a coach that I was on a call with. We were doing a group chat, and she called it the itty bitty shitty committee, and I said, nailed it. That's the itty bitty shitty committee. I said, I'm borrowing that, girlfriend, because it is so true, right? We don't need to be hearing all of that. We don't need to be hearing things that are going to be stopping us from our divine mission. right? We're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. And the further we get away from that purpose, the more everything else is going to let us know, right? We're going to get that redirect. So, clairaudience will often come through, again, as non-judgmental. Literally like, oh, call Sarah. Or turn left. I had that happen a couple times too, where I'm like driving down the road and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to do this next. And I just listen and I'm like, oh, Shazam, I'm in the right place at the right time. That's happened multiple times. So just learning to navigate it by, was it judgment? Was it just an instruction or an idea? Okay. Now, how many people in here feel like they have sometimes ringing in the ear or buzzing in the ear? Okay, that's your clairaudience wanting to turn on, unless you've had a head injury or some other thing that tinnitus would not go away. Okay, you'll be more aware of it in a quiet environment than in a noisy environment. But if you're hearing this ringing or buzzing, that kind of goes away. And that was almost everybody in here, by the way. I would say 98%. Is getting clairvoyant, clairaudient information. So that clairaudience. So then what do you do about it? What do you do about it? So let me explain why it is. So here you can hear me talking because how many people are talking? One. If we went and did this talk over in the main sanctuary area, would you be able to hear me or would you hear buzzing or ringing? You'd hear buzzing and ringing. Right? It's going to be like static on the line because there's so many overlapping voices. So when you're interested in turning on and engaging with your clairaudience, tell them one at a time. You own this. And that's one of the things that's really important for people to know. You are not a victim of your spiritual gifts. You are in the driver's seat and you can pick and choose, okay? You can literally pick and choose. So it used to be I would come to places like this and I'd be flitting all over the place, wasn't very grounded. I'm feeling this energy, this over here, not making decisions, running around, whatever, being exhausted and drained by the end of the day. Now I've learned not to pick up all that energy and I'm in charge. So one day I was teaching a Reiki class and I had 8 people in the class. And all of a sudden, these guides just started coming in and chattering. And I'm like, I'm teaching here. No, right? Turn them off. You know, it's like putting your cell phone on vibrate. You don't have to listen to that. Just because someone rings your phone doesn't mean you have to pick up your phone. Okay? So these are all things that we need to learn. And when you're getting that clairaudient buzzing or ringing, like say not now, or I hear you when I meditate, I will sit down and engage with you one at a time. Because you can't hear the ring or the buzz. You can't make sense of it. Okay?
I'm hearing the garage door open, activated, because it happens the same time, pretty much, at bedtime, or before I fall asleep. But during the day, I don't hear it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, maybe it's another buzzing or ringing.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it to make sure that everyone was able to hear that. Is it specifically your garage door opening and closing?
No. I'm thinking I'm here. I'm
Oh, you're
very
hearing.
sensitive
You're
to some remote control or
okay.
somebody push the button.
But it's at night, not during the day.
Yeah, it's at night.
Okay. What happens at night? What happens at night? We go to sleep, right? So what are we naturally doing in the evening before we're going to sleep? We are relaxing. When do you think Spirit's going to get a message through? When we're like this, or when we're like, oh, it must be
Right
bedtime?
in between before sleep, and you just relaxed, you're almost asleep right then, or when you're waking up right then.
For some people, that is right. For some people, it's that place right in between sleep, either going in or coming out. For some people, you got to be all the way out, and it'll be the dream space, right? It's another way for Spirit to come in. It just depends, right? It just depends. But yeah, you're more relaxed. And so that's why that buzzing is coming in for you then instead of during the day. You're able to receive it more. Yeah.
Can we get inspiration or messages from music lyrics, or sometimes I'll be like walking past people and they'll be having a conversation and like some statement will stick out to me, and then I'll like carry it throughout the day, and then somehow it'll like fit in like a puzzle piece into what I.
Brilliant. Yes, brilliant. So I'm just going to make sure everybody heard that and repeat it, that sometimes messages are given to us, and it would be clairaudience because we're hearing it, with a song popping on the radio or walking past a conversation and hearing just exactly what you needed to hear. And then of course she said that it would validate itself later in the day. It would like something would come to fruition that would be, yeah, that can be your clairaudience. Clairvoyance, let's talk about that for a minute. Clairvoyance is related to your third eye chakra, and that's clear seeing. And this can be anything from like actually envisioning things to seeing sparkles, seeing auras, seeing flashes of light or things moving in the periphery, but then you look and there's nothing there, there's no possibility. This again is your clairvoyance, right? Anything like that. I'll tell you a real fun, cute story that it just is a cute story. So before I really kind of grasped everything about my clairvoyance, etc., I was shopping for a car, and I was scrolling the internet. I kind of honed in on what I wanted to do, and you know, the model, the make, the whatever, and now it was like finding the perfect one, because I already by that time knew the energy of my car was going to be different than the energy of any other car, because objects hold energy, right? So I was looking for the car, not just a car, the car. So I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh look, there it is, Lynchburg Mazda. Okay, there it is. So we went on a Sunday because I had already test drive and drove all the salespeople bonkers and everything, and I knew what I wanted. And but we went in on a Sunday because I wanted to, you know, just check the energy of the car, things like that. So I was looking around a lot, couldn't find the car. I'm like, oh man, they sold it right out from under me. What am I going to do? And then I said, well, let me go look in the showroom. So I look, and you know, it's dark. It's a Sunday. The place is closed. They get the lights off. And I'm like on the window going, look, Danny, there's my car. It's in the spotlights. They really want me to find it. And he's like, Laura, all the lights are off. I'm like, no, my car is shining. It's bright. Don't you see it glowing? He's like, Laura, get off the window. They're going to call the cops. Like, let's go. So that was my clairvoyance telling me this is the car. I have 193,000 miles in relationship with that car. And I got in it the other day and I zipped around something. I'm like, darn, I love you. It has literally been just the perfect relationship between me and my vehicle, right? And so I invite you to think about, this is your vehicle. Get these things, these spiritual gifts, in tune with your vehicle so you can have that really nice zoom experience with your vehicle, right? Where it's a symbiotic relationship. But that's clairvoyance. It can be that simple, and it can grow from there. The trick to expanding and growing your spiritual abilities is validating and taking action. 3-step process. 1, you get it, right? Reception and awareness. Validate, say, okay, and then take action. Okay, because it's one thing. So this happened to Danny, bless his heart. He doesn't believe in this woo-woo stuff. But he'll tell me to look at it in meditation every time we want to go, plan a time, plan a this, plan a whatever. Because now I don't have to like be in the like at that time I had to be in the presence of my Mazda to feel the energy of it. But now, since I know how to do the energy other ways, I can look at it I don't need to be in the presence of it. I can look at Syria. I can look at whatever. I can look at the Pleiades. Okay? I don't need to be in the presence. So it's funny, it's funny that way. But he even said to me today, I wish I had listened to that little voice that told me this. So he got a hit. He had the awareness. He validated it by saying, I had that thought that came to me, but he didn't take action, and he was not happy about it later, right? So all of these gifts, it doesn't matter which Clair ability it is, if you want to grow it, if you want it to make more sense to you, validate, awareness, validate, and then take action. Okay? So, that's your clairvoyance. How many people are seeing sparkles, something lights up? Maybe something, you're reading a picture and something jumps off the page. Or you see something like, ooh, that person's glowing, right? Or you're seeing stuff over here. Raise your hand if that sounds like you.
Something's wrong with my eyes.
Yeah. It's your clairvoyance. And just say, okay, I see you.
Would that be it?
Was
That
it?
shimmers in the air.
Mhm.
I thought it was like heat waves or something. You know what I'm saying? But it looked like the air was moving.
So it could be either that, or it could be energy movement, right? Like when energy moves, if you're looking at it, it does look a lot like the heat. Like if you're like looking at the road, if you're driving on the road, it's 80 degrees, black asphalt in front of you, and you're watching that's heat waves, right? Totally. But when energy moves, it could be that shimmery kind of watery or sparkly or whatever. Yeah, it could be in any of those. Yeah. Again, validate it, right? Okay, crown chakra, clear knowing. That's where you just know stuff off the top of your head, right? You just inherently know things off the top of your head. And I don't know about y'all, but like sometimes I'm amazed by what comes out my mouth. I'm like, because it comes out before I even realize. Like if I'm in the zone having a great conversation with somebody, all of a sudden it's like a stream of information comes out, and I'm like, where the heck did that come from? Like I'm bewildered. I'm amazing. Like, whoa. But really what it is, it's just allowing that flow of claircognizance, right? And again, when you're relaxed, when you're feeling good, that's when it's going to kind of come through, versus like when you're in resistance of like, think, Pooh, think, I've got to get this, I've got to, oh, come on, I know it's there. You're never going to get it. Like you might as well give up. In resistance, right? If you hear a clairaudient message and you're like, what was that? What was that? Say it again. Not coming in. Oh, if it's important, you'll let me know, and just go on about your day, right? We don't want to be in resistance. Resistance stops things flat. It keeps us stuck. Okay, we're not moving. We're not in flow. We're the opposite. Okay? All right, so claircognizance is just knowing it. And to answer a question that was asked earlier, now that we know how those all kind of function separately, oftentimes what happens is we will get the information through the crown chakra. The third eye might or might not make sense and interpret it. Think of it like decoding, or putting something from symbol to word, or putting something from Spanish to English. Okay? Sometimes, depending on where your third eye is, what it's doing, all those things, it may not go there right away. May not go clairaudiently, okay? And it may come in clairsentiently, right? But it could be all of them. I mean, I've had, situations where I've been in a session with someone and it's just like, okay, don't hit me with a Mack truck, because it was like, the claircognizance, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, and the clairsentience all at once. I'm like, okay, this is going to be heavy for you, but they let me know it's going to be heavy, right? Because they hit me all the ways. Wasn't subtle. Yeah.
What is that like? Can you give an example?
Yes, I can. So I was doing a festival not dissimilar to this one, pretty similar, And probably about, I don't know, right before COVID maybe. And this woman came in, nice, smiley person coming in, sitting down, not giving me any kind of, inkling of what was about to happen. And she sits down and we, do the thing, and I tell her how I get into my readings and whatnot. And I check in with her crown chakra, and then I say, well, what do you want to spend your time exploring and looking at today? And as soon as she said, I want to connect with my daughter, her daughter died in an accident. I want to connect with my daughter. The daughter comes in like they're going to do like the whole Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze, like, but and she's like, I'm here, Mama. And then I could feel all this grief. Then I found Mama's grief, right? But it was like this, and I was like, no, ma'am, I got a seat right for you. Sit next to your mama. Like, you sit right here. That's where you go. You're not doing anything over here, because I do not look like Whoopi, and I am not going to like it. I love that movie so very much. But seriously, like, we are in control of this stuff. We are the driver of it, right? And so, there's a nice guy sitting there right in the center of the room. He knows I just picked on him with his snowy white hair and his snowy white beard. He's looking back there all suave and everything, right? Are you a nice lady that's with him? Is he a nice man? Sometimes. Is he a trustworthy man? I mean, you all are hanging out together. He trustworthy? Yes. Okay. Should I rely on him? I can. Okay, she gave me permission to rely on her husband. Well, guess what? If he says, hey, Laura, I want to borrow your car, am I going to let him borrow my car? Probably not if I don't know him, right? If you all can realize that, translate that into your spiritual gifts, right? If it's not the time and the place for you, tell him to get on the wait list.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
How do you know whether it's something that you should be interacting with and something you shouldn't be interacting with?
Good question. Very good question.
Because I find that's where the fear comes from, is not being able to discern what you should and what you shouldn't.
Repeat her question.
I will repeat her question for sure. She said, what about discerning between what you should be paying attention to and what you really don't want to be paying attention to? That's where the fear comes from. Is this trustworthy? Is this whatever? Tell you what, everybody put your feet flat on the floor. Get your chakras nice and in alignment. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. I will do the watching for you. Everybody will be safe. Close those eyes. And give your body a breath. Allow it to relax into the moment. And I want you to bring your point of awareness from behind your eyes and move it back until you're in between your ears. And give your body another breath. And I want you in your mind to repeat these words. And if you want to, you can say your name. So I'll say I, Laura, and then you can say your name. Fully own my space. That means my chakras, my body, my aura, and my connection with the divine. I set the intention that I receive only for what is the highest good for myself and for those that are important to me. I allow my divine light to shine throughout my body, my chakras, my aura, and the connection with the divine 100%. And now give your body another breath. And open your eyes. Okay, so what we did is we filled our container with us. When your container is full, how much else is getting in? Yeah. So, folks, I am one of those people, I learned this the hard way. I learned this by listening to some people who were thought they knew how to navigate being an empath and stuff. And it's all part of the process, right? The learning process. A lot of people will do things like shielding, creating this bubble, right? I'm putting myself, and you can name any color, I've heard them all. I'm putting myself in a such and such bubble, and I'm filling it with this kind of crystalline, blah, 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 and I'm doing all the things, okay? Right? Anybody in here besides me a Star Trek fan? Anybody? At least you know what it is, right? So I'm Captain James T. Kirk, and I'm here in my Star Trek, right? I'm in charge of what? The Starship Enterprise. The whole thing and all the souls on board, right? That's me, James T. Kirk, driving my ship. We come upon something else. It's Romulan, whatever. Unknown. We haven't met them before, whatever it is. Right? How do things start out? Curiosity. It starts with awareness, then it starts with curiosity, right? And then what happens? If someone puts a shield up, what happens next?
Defense.
You go to your defense systems, right? So when I put myself on alert with a shield, right? Then you do the same thing. Do you think you're attracting what you would want or not? So this other way of filling yourself up so your entire container is you is way more effective, because I found whenever I did that and whenever I enhanced them because it wasn't working, because what happens is you get to be attractive. You're actually getting to be very attractive when you have it. It's like, oh, what's she doing over there? Right? And I actually, one time we were out with Danny and his ex-wife. We did his grandkids' birthday party. So fun party. One of those ones where you could run and jump and get on the Velcro wall. But anyway, his ex-wife was there, and she just isn't, anyway, a globby, go away from you kind of person, right? And very clingy, attention-seeking kind of person. Anyway, she was there, and so I created this shield, because that's what I was taught at the time. I was creating this shield, and of course she was just everywhere. And I reinforced my shield or created 2 layers, and here she comes even harder, and nobody else was coming but her. Oh my God. And then I was like, this is exhausting, and I let it down, and she went away. Okay. So I'm just saying, that's one of the ways where I realized, that was one of those times when I realized that, that shield thing, might work for some things, but not necessarily going to be your answer for everything that you'd like to accomplish in life. So, all right. So who has questions?
Okay, so what if you get download of love specifically from a person, or you get download of energy, people who've passed, and I know specifically who it is for various reasons. But I mean, it's just feeling. Is that because my third eye can't interpret it yet, and it's just coming as feeling, lots of love and energy? My body can't interpret it yet. I feel maybe sometimes they're messages, but it just comes as lots of feeling.
So of all the messages that you can get in the world, and hear me very, very deeply, of all the messages that you can get in the world is being validated as the person and the divine soul that you are. And how do we do that? We do it through the exchange of love. There is no greater message than getting that love. Can you let that be the message?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody asked me to look at something the other day. They were having this huge, intense headache and thinking about going to the doctor and blah, 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 blah. All I did was say hello. I looked at her, spirit to spirit, and said, hey, baby, what's going on? And her headache went away. Okay? Now, a lot of times that spirit to spirit hello is the most intense thing, right? So just let it be what it is. You can't get anything better than that. Yeah.
What resources do you recommend for developing any gifts that you have?
Actually, especially for empaths, that's my specialty. I am teaching. I teach courses to help people ground off other people's energy, how to recognize what's not yours, what is yours, how to grow your own energy, how to tap into divine resources to enrich this whole chakra process, and then also how to interpret and open up these spiritual gifts. So, yeah. And that has come through many different types of, and many years of, finding things that didn't work to what does work, and everything like that. So I don't think there's anyone, like, go read this book, because I don't know any books that, like, cover.
Does the hands-on?
Huh?
Does the hands-on?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of books I recommend. I recommended a book to someone this morning because it showed up in their energy field, right? And that's a good first starting place for her. It's like the key that's going to unlock a door for her. And I've recommended books, to many, many people, but that's a pretty broad thing. And so, yeah, no one book is going to kind of do what you're asking.
I have like a two-part question.
Okay.
Okay, I want to show you a tarot card reading.
Okay.
It's a card that I took a picture of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know tarot, by the way.
So
Yeah.
I was given the information of what to expect. No timeline, nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
And so I've not seen a medium, so I guess my question is there a difference between the two? And then for a medium, would that be something that, not so much a symbolism like this was shown with the cards, but is there I guess if I pose a question, 5 years from now, what is it going to be like for me? So would a medium be able to help with that? Or is it more like futuristic
So
goal?
mediums are those that can have a foot on both sides, right? We can be across the veil and in the physical world at the same time. That's something that I do. I communicate from loved ones and everything. It's you've got a foot in both places, okay? That's a medium is able to communicate with spirits. There's many ways to look at timelines, and I like to think this way. Rather than setting out an expectation, particularly information that comes from someone else, I'm just going to say that I've been to good people, and I saw somebody one time. I did a group thing one time many years ago, and I felt like that guy raped me. He just basically read my mom's obituary and just fed little bits and pieces and whatever. I'm like, ooh, that feels so grungy. But anyway, there's good folks out there, there's whatever, but no matter what, you're getting a little bit of an interpretation. Like, spirit doesn't communicate It communicates in all kinds of pictures, words, feelings.
Songs.
It communicates in so many different ways, and we're the ones that do this and put words to it. We're the filter, right? And so rather than listening to other people's information or setting out expectations that you then feel like you got to meet or not meet or avoid or whatever, like, can you set the intention that this unfolds beautifully and in my highest good? Because sometimes I could tell you, oh yeah, 3 years from now, you look like you're going to be a published author and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh man, 3 years, you know? And you feel like you've got all this 3 years, but it could happen in 6 months, but you put that 3-year time frame on it. Does that make sense? So we set the intention, the highest good. Go with that. Did that answer your question, both parts?
I think so.
I wanted to answer the tarot card thing. I did want to do. So, energy is contained in objects. Okay? Cards can have very significant meaning. Things that pop up, like conversations or whatever. Like, divine timing means you're connecting synchronistically with something that it was a message for you. Okay? And it can come through cards or energy. They will hold energy. I am not a tarot card expert, but I work with oracle cards, and like literally I'll shuffle cards and one will pop out, or I'm told stop and get the third one down or whatever. Sometimes it's let the person feel for their card. They have energy. They have energy. And so yeah, you want to just be aware of that. Yeah, they'll connect with you too. Like, I do these messages from Saint Germain, and if you haven't been by my booth 14 yet, I have messages, 20 different ones I channeled with Saint Germain. And people always get the message that's right for them to hear, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, right? I was just the scribe, and your energy is connecting you with your message. I hope that makes sense. Any questions, or are we good? One more question.
You talk about your spiritual energy in your body. You also have a physical energy in your body also. And I would imagine that the statement where they say you are what you eat,
Mm-hmm.
or your body, in terms of what your body is made of, everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
And some people would probably have more energy than others.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that why some people, for instance, you could think of someone maybe all of a sudden when you're out on the road somewhere, and you haven't seen them in like 20 years, and you go to the store, and they're standing in line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that energy also, like a phone, can go off to other people, and you can feel their energy without even seeing them?
Yeah, like people who work with me on a regular basis, I could be at the grocery store and I could be like, oh, I gotta call so and so, and then when I text them and reach out to them, they're like, oh, I'm so glad you did because blah 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 blah. Yep, works that way. Energy is everywhere, and it's just a matter of how the vibration presents itself, and in a density form, it is physical.